fast. Okay. All right. So somewhere for most of us who've joined today, the idea is, how can, well, we know college is one way of, reaching our professional goals. What are the other ways if one looks at that? Um, Somewhere we've seen many unschoolers or homeschoolers, uh, while many go the 10th, 12th, and then the college route. We've also seen some unschoolers, do their own professional journeys, and that was the inspiration for us to start CoVersity, where the idea is to really get down to doing a lot of work in your chosen interests. You're discovering what is your interest, because sometimes it's not very quick that one really knows what one wants to do. Sometimes even till 30, 35, then it's quite natural that in the teenage, not everyone would be very clear. So why not give them the opportunity to look at multiple interests if that's the case for them, and then grow professionally in their chosen interest. This is a very brief map about how this journey would be. It is outside the conventional system. And the idea is we come together as a cohort. Let's deep dive in multiple domains. And the deep diving is by aligning yourself with the industry and doing work in the industry, picking up skills that are relevant to the industry demands. You have the support system of guides, mentors. And we are saying, let's not look at a degree certificate where a piece of paper tells that you're certified. Rather, let's look at building a portfolio where you are able to showcase all the work uh, that you're capable of doing, the skills that you have picked up, and the how inclined you are to offer value, or give value to the industry. So the idea is to get industry ready, while there's a lot of emphasis on reaching professional goals. But this whole journey, because it is so self-directed, like the learner is put in the center of their journey. They decide how they want to go about, which area they want to go deeper into, the style of learning, everything. Since it's self-directed, there's a lot of self-development as well, in terms of self-leadership. When they're in a cohort, the idea of interpersonal relationships, how to be in a team, how to kind of you know uh, deal with conflict. So all these are by virtue, because of the journey, there's a lot of self growth. And this, the idea is to help them empower to take on their journey. Now tomorrow, even if they think of switching domains, which happens to a lot of us, right? Many of us have degrees in some domain, but we are working in something else. But the core is where we want to focus on. So that's a brief idea about what CoVersity is. And this is the current cohort which started in July. So typically you commit to this journey for a year. You start with a minimum of 1 year. And the idea is after this, after the 1 year, it's up to you and your goals. Like if for some it could take 2 to 3 years, for some they want to take it slow. They still want to explore many things. So it could be longer, but we have not put a end limit to your profession or your CoVersity journey. The idea is once you found your place in the industry, you can say Tata bye bye to CoVersity. So these guys come as a cohort, and let's look at some stories rather than just what the concept is about. Let's understand through their stories. So somewhere I got to know that Natasha's daughter is interested a lot into dance. When I look at that, I see Drupad, who here is as of now he is into digital marketing, but somewhere 3 4 years back he decided he wants to pursue professional football, and he went on to train with the club, with, doing everything, playing with the club, his fitness, doing everything that's required to kind of achieve his goal of becoming a professional football. And after 3 years, somewhere he decided for himself that while I like this as a passion, as a sport, uh, as something I'm very driven about, but I'm not seeing um, a scope for myself as a professional football. This was the judgment that he came to after 3 years of training as a professional football. And then he said, okay, I want to do explore some other field. And that's when he decided that he wants to do digital marketing, and he started his CoVersity journey by diving into digital marketing. And so typically the first few months they spend at the campus as a cohort, where this time is to kind of add rigor to your exploration and go deeper. And you do this by taking up projects. Now this could mean client projects, or this could mean designing own personal projects. If you're just starting off, this could mean, hey, there's some requirement for someone in the Aarohi community, can I offer value and learn in the process? So that's what they've been doing for the first 3 months. After that, they go into the industry exposure phase. So for him, he's chosen to do an internship with a digital marketing firm, where now one would wonder, how do these people get internships? Are we offering internships? So the idea is everything is driven by the learner. Of course, there are support systems, like there are guide, facilitators, and all those things, but they build a portfolio, and this portfolio is what has been the showcase that they were able to present to the industry, to show that what all they've done in this field, and what are the skills they've picked up, and how willing are they to learn. So that's Drupad's journey. Now, somewhere, sorry, I don't remember the name, but someone's child is not interested in giving exams, and that is where Hari, he dropped out of school at some grade, because uh, somewhere the reading, writing, giving exams was not his way of learning, really. You meet Hari, and there's always, he would be speaking about bikes, cars. He's an automobile freak, if I may say so. So for him, he wanted a learning style which is very hands-on, which where he gets on ground and starts doing things. That's the kind of learning that he loved doing. So he started his CoVersity journey. First, he thought he'll try some photography or something. He did for some time. It just didn't work for him. And then he thought, okay, I want to get down to doing something in the field of automobiles. And the idea again for him was, so when he was at the campus, he went deeper by reviewing bikes, by meeting auto experts, going to workshops, auto workshops, meeting mechanics, talking to them. And he created his own YouTube channel, where he would upload reviews of different motorbikes, and what are the trends and all those things. And currently he is interning with the Tata Motors service center. And interestingly, he is one of the first unschoolers or open learners who's working there without a certificate. Like usually they take up polytechnic students, but because he had a portfolio and he could showcase what all he had done, he was the first open learner to kind of start working there. Uh, I've shared two stories. Now let's look at Srijani's story through a video. Now, Srijani is interested in baking, and since she's not going to a college, one would wonder, what really is she doing, right? Like, how is the learning? How is she picking up skills? What is it she really doing? And then how does she get an internship? So I'll just play this. We'll watch this and then go. One question, is the audio, is it audible? Like, is there sound coming? If someone could tell me.
Yeah, audible.
Okay, so Okay, now let's look at what a typical day. So when they were at campus, this was short then. Currently, all of them are in their internships or volunteering, so they're not at the campus. So some part of the time they're at campus, then they go off campus. Either it's their hometown where they're working somewhere closer to their home, or they're in a new city. So that at the second phase, they're not at the campus. It's their industry exposure phase, which is where they're currently. So once that phase is over, industry exposure phase is over, they come back, they reflect, they review, and decide whether to continue in the same domain or would they want to make a shift to something else. So all these cohort members come back in Jan. So the first 6 months they spent in one domain. In Jan, they will come back and reflect and review whether they want to continue in the same domain or switch. Okay, so we've kind of come to the end of the presentation. So as we start in Jan again, so in Jan and July is when you get a chance to join the cohort. So anyone who would be interested to join CoVersity, they can join the cohort in Jan. But before that, since no matter how much I tell you or how much we speak about it, this sort of a thing is best when it's experienced. So we are offering these trial weeks where the next one is on 18th of December, where you come to the campus for 5 days. You're part of, you get to understand the campus, the community, the people behind it, and kind of experience this kind of doing for a week to see, okay, is this something that I can, do and commit for 1 year. So that's the idea of the trial week. With that, I will stop maybe I'll keep this map in place in case you want to just kind of get a sense of what the entire concept is like. But yes, now we can really open for questions or thoughts or, yeah.
So what age do you think that this whole journey starts?
So we have kept it as 13 to 21. So at 13 you can start. So it's basically for teenagers and youth, post
So in
20.
India, there is no minimum or minimum age requirement for internships.
It's 14 to start off with. That's the legal thing, if you ask me. But 13 onwards, we got requests from many unschoolers and homeschoolers to, so they may not really go into internship right away. Like there's one 13-year-old who started and she's volunteering with a firm. So she may not be interning, but yeah, it also depends on what's the domain they are looking at, or but at a legal thing, 14 onwards, any which ways you can offer internships or people can take up work.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Vishwa's mom here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe this is purely for homeschoolers and then this program and then cohorts. So do you customize the cohorts, or maybe you have a vocational internships, that might help, regular schoolers as well?
Actually, this is not really for homeschoolers. It's really about if you are looking for uh, means to reach your professional goals, where the idea is you want to do and kind of learn by doing, then this is the journey for you. Learn by doing something in the industry. So it really like we started, yes, I agree with you that we started thinking, we were inspired by unschoolers, homeschoolers. But if you see our current cohort, there are equal number of children or youth, sorry, not children, teens, who are, some have given 10th, 12th, been part of the traditional schooling, and now they
Like
are,
those internships.
yeah, now they are part of CoVersity. They chose not to go to college. Then there is someone, as I told about Hari, who had dropped out of school, regular schooling, and now he's part of this. So no, it's not really actually the learner kind of customizes the journey. The journey is totally customizable around the learner's needs, their aspirations, their pace, their ambitions also. Like for some, it could be, I want to like really go quick and take it up. That's great. For some, I want to take time. That's also equally fine. So the journey is customizable around the learner.
Hi.
Okay.
Will there be any other
Yeah.
like camps where we can come in for trial apart from December?
We'll have one in Jan as well. So Jan 8th is when the new term starts, right? So ideally, we also provide trial weeks then, like you join for those 5 days. And then, if you're interested, you join the cycle as is. Yes. Otherwise, you can always come and join later. But yes, Jan 8th is when you have one more opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Also, one more question. Has anyone ever taken up dance professionally as one of the students over here?
One of them is into photography, not dance. And the idea is they're still in the initial stages of photography. Natasha, if you could give me some sense of how long your daughter has been training for and what is it? I understand she said she wants to be part of some dance
So
company.
Anaya has been training professionally in dance for the last 10 years
Okay.
with a with a school, with a professional school,
Mm,
and she's right now at the stage where she's also doing endorsements for certain programs, and also for certain brands, and also doing small projects at various theaters like the Ambani Theater, the NCPA Theater. So
mm,
she's looking at, of course, right now, I mean, in her class, everybody's actually just going abroad, but we
mm,
are looking at to train. But we're looking at exploring options where she could work with renowned people in jazz or ballet
mm,
or in India for some time,
mm.
and then maybe do some workshops abroad. That's kind of what we're looking at. Besides this, for the last 3 years, she's also indulged in baking, and she has a small company of her own where she bakes uh, and sends it by there's a VFast courier on a pan Mumbai basis. So these are the two things that she's doing.
Okay. So, yes, in terms of a dance, maybe what we could suggest is like, if she has such a, huge repository of work already in that field, as you are rightfully thinking, go ahead and, be with do more of an apprenticeship or something around that, or, maybe more into the industry that she's looking for. but where I see a CoVersity journey, or like at least the trial week might help her, is ki the whole aspect of I'm sure she has rigor to her whole dance routine and stuff, but the whole building a portfolio and all those things, if she feels she needs a cohort, or I'm sure she has a cohort with her dance thing, yeah, that is something where this journey might help. But otherwise, she's already doing what she's already at the stage now. She has to be in the industry. That's the next stage for her, right? Yeah, the idea would be for
Right,
her
right.
to, yeah, take
Okay,
up
so
her
figuring
portfolio
out
and
the industry,
get
that's
into
amazing.
doing some work further.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, great. So I think we'll look at a trial or class
sure, sure.
and yeah, see how it goes.
I am just going to share the I'm just going to share the Trial Vika website link so that you all know where to look for more details. Yeah, we can take questions meanwhile. Okay, I'm just launching a poll which will help us see how we can be connected with you and what are your needs in terms of from CoVersity, or so please do take the poll, and so that we understand what are your needs, and the following orientations can be designed around that. Ashwini and Deepa, I think you joined recently. I don't know at what point you joined. Would be good to just have a introduction before we kind of wrap up.
Like today is the first day I have joined.
Okay,
I'm just looking in. I think so. For me to get an idea, also it will take some more time.
of course.
Later, I can just justify my things.
Sure, sure.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, very true, Deepa. Like this is something which might take time very naturally, and which is why we have these orientations every week. And also Saturdays is when we have the meetup. We've been doing that meetup for the last 3 years. So that is also about meeting unschooling families or open learning families, and how they're going about. And that also we talk about CoVersity, but this weekday meeting is primarily for CoVersity.
Okay.
Yeah, so requesting everyone to take the poll. Yeah, Ashwini, if you can share, would be great.
Yeah, for me, I wanted to register for the December camp.
Okay.
But then my son has pre-commitment. So we already he is going for some first aid camp, like
Oh, right.
the boot
Ashwini is
camp.
from Pune, right? I think we
Yeah, yeah,
connected.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We spoke about it. So,
fine.
but then I'm interested for the 5 days trial because it is not me I want him to get used to the idea of cohort. So once
Hmm.
for me it is him, like he's the one who is the
Sure,
doer. So
sure.
I'm just waiting for the trial. I mean, whenever is the next trial, I'm going to
Sure.
register for it.
So for Natasha and Ashwini, I would suggest, I mean, if the teens can also come for these orientations, or if they want me to kind of connect with them one-on-one, or if they don't want me, but if they want to talk to one of the teens and understand what they're doing, so that all of those things can be done, but it's essential that they come for at least one orientation before they come to the trial week. So would suggest take the next step, see what is needed, and get in touch with me in terms of how we can connect with them as well as the next step.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think if there are no further questions, maybe we can pause for today.